What's up, everybody? Welcome to HotMakes, right here on the HotMakes. I am Jim from the Edge of Tech, also affectionately known as Nerdy J. This is Caleb, HotMakes producer extraordinaire, not Jim from the Edge of Tech.
I'm also affectionately referred to as Nerdy J.
Yeah, this is a desk. Oh wait, where is it? Jesus, there's a desk there.
Wow.
Hey, there's a desk. Edge of desk.
There's
hey,
desk.
Look, I got my only desk shirt on today. Yeah. Hey, there's a Sarah. Hi, Sarah.
Remember last time when I spilled the coffee on my desk?
Hey. Yeah, don't. Yeah, if you were here with us a couple weeks ago, Sarah was amazing. Brought Caleb some coffee, and he dumped it on his electronics project. so don't do that. What's up, Fotis? Fotis is with us. What's up, Fotis?
I can show you a little bit of an update on that today if you want.
Yeah, we'll do it. Let's jump through some real quick stuff. Everything we show HotMakes wise, there'll be a link in the description below. Click on that, find episode 139. Holy moly. We are almost to 140. Almost to what next week is Willow, I think, right? Willow's 140.
Yes.
Willow Creative, awesome maker in our community. She's going to be with us with 140. And let's see what else. We have a donation link, as always, either in the description or with the Nightbot on the chat. If you feel free to get us a PayPal if you want. Also, let's see, Rocky Mountain Rep Festival, April 22nd, 23rd. Hey, huge congratulations to the guys over there. We got Justin, Zach, and Mike putting this on. They crossed 1,000 registered guests on awesome. for the first RMRRF. Is that what we're calling it? RMRRF? For a
first year event.
RMRRF.
That's awesome.
I feel like I'm going to have a hairball every time I say that. RMRRF. Anyways, congratulations. If you didn't know, I'm assuming you already know, but if you didn't know, we're going to be there. The whole Edge of Tech team is going to be there. We're going to be filming, having fun. And if you didn't see my video that came out Sunday, was that yesterday? Holy moly.
Yeah, that was yesterday.
Jeez, that was yesterday. Anyways, if you didn't see that video, they actually invited me to MC the event. They're giving me a microphone for the whole weekend, and I don't know what's going to happen. If only our guest today was here, then crazy stuff might happen.
Yeah.
If you didn't know by the title, we have.
Can you imagine getting you and Sam together, both running the entire event?
That's dangerous. As you'll see in the next video this weekend. But we have an awesome guest tonight. Angus from Muse is with us. I am super pumped. We haven't had him on for a while, so we're going to talk all things 3D printing, making, and maybe music too. We might be time to update our intro music, because I know the guy who did that music, and he might be with us tonight. So, hey, you never know.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were talking about the guitar riff, and I was like, what? I love that.
No. I know the guy who did that one too. Mike, if you're watching,
Angus makes heavy metal music.
Yeah, I love it. So yeah, but don't forget, April 22nd, 23rd, just over a month from today, RMRRF is happening. The Rocky Mountain Rep Festival is happening in Loveland, Colorado. If you're flying, hit Denver. It's a straight shot north. There's 2 buses, or you could rent a car. And don't forget, there's going to be battle races and top fuel dragsters loose on the concrete. I am so excited for these. I love the battle racers or death racers or whatever we want to call them on this show. But I haven't seen top fuel dragsters loose. Like, I can see if they're like on a line or in a contained area, but like loose down the freaking sidewalk, it's going to be amazing.
I think that's going to sound amazing.
Yeah.
Like having these really fast printed racers going, like the not death racers already have kind of a cool sound to them with all the tank treads running around.
Yeah.
But these ones are I wonder if we're going to get like maybe some tire squealing from the 3D printed tires even.
I don't know if you know what we should do? We should ask Angus, because he is totally into robotics and making stuff move fast, and many different wheel types, as we've seen in his videos. Ladies and gentlemen, Angus from Muse. How you doing, Angus?
Hey, good to see you guys. Thanks for having me on.
So we were, obviously you could hear us. We were BSing about they're gonna have top fuel dragster 3D printed with 3D printed wheels.
Yeah,
dragsters. And what's your theory? Is TPU gonna hold up, and you think it'll squeal?
So, I mean, if you look at the real top fuel dragsters, the rear tires like crush in on themselves to get that traction. So I think if someone's going to want to win that, they'll have to get the softest TPU they can get. Because if you try to print TPU wheels, we've tried it with combat robots. The semi-flex stuff has no traction, like at all.
Yeah.
So you're gonna need like 30 short, like 30D, is it short hardness, like the really ridiculously soft stuff. But I reckon
wet noodle.
Yeah, literally wet noodle filament. I reckon you might get maybe some. You might get some squealing, and then they'll probably melt.
You heard it here first, folks. We're gonna at RMRRF, we're gonna have wet noodle racing.
Yeah.
Jack in his shop says Angus can't make bots anymore. Can he?
He's not allowed to.
I did a thing, started this rumor in his video that I was banned from BattleBots, and I get questions about it constantly.
The best part is you started it. I mean, that's just like so everybody
Mitch on an episode together.
Yes.
Both former BattleBots.
Just so you guys know, if you're here with us, shoot your questions over. If we don't see them, we're going to highlight them and come back to questions. So if you have questions for Angus throughout the episode, shoot them over. We will ask them at some point. We will. We're using 60 A shore hardness.
60 would be good. The guys that made the that Flexion extruder like years ago that was designed to print semi-flex and really flexible filament sent me a prototype that was like 30A. It was crazy, and their extruder could barely handle it. But I think 6A would be a safe bet for most extruders.
We're gonna find out. I think I'm gonna throw it on my printers. Throw the whole thing on there and just let it fly and bring it out in parts and then put it together while I'm there. Because these things, if you haven't seen them, they're a little over a meter long.
They're about they're
like
4
3.2, right? I think that's what it was. 3.2 meters. Something like that.
I don't know. I remember last time I translated it into basically 4 feet.
Pretty close, yeah. I mean, it's Scott, the guy who he was on a couple weeks ago who designed it in like 4 or 5 days and like threw it all together. It's belt driven straight off the motor off the motor. It's gonna be I am predicting carnage, and it's going to be amazing. Yeah,
if they roll or deviate, it's going to be PLA everywhere.
Yeah, and the front wheels, they turn like a dragster. So, if you don't have them locked, if you don't have them somehow, if someone's like sitting like this and they take off, the thing's just going to it's going to be amazing.
The fact that I mean, I know printers can be pretty accurate, but the fact that we're printing these means that there are going to be like a little bit of tolerance issues for some people. And I know it sounds really terrible. I almost feel like I shouldn't say this, but like I feel like part of the entertainment value is going to be the explosions. Like
yes, cool. Yes. I love they're going to be that's kind of NASCAR's fun, but if I'm going to turn NASCAR on, I'm looking for a good wreck. I like I don't want anyone to get hurt or any of that. No. I just want to see the NASCAR like slide sideways into a wall and then flip down the track a couple times. The guy gets out, waves his hand, he's okay. Something like that. BattleBots, you don't watch BattleBots to see them drive around and spin their thingies. You watch them to crash, right?
Yeah. I watch BattleBots for the commercials, honestly.
The commercials. There's a lot of that.
Oh man, right. But I don't think there's much introduction that's being needed, but we're early in the episode, so like real quick, who are you, what do you do, and where can we find you? And then we'll do that again at the end. But like I said, I mean, over 1 million subs, by the way. Congrats.
Oh yeah, congrats
on that.
Yeah, it was a slow, steady climb, which I'm totally happy with. It's crazy. It's nuts. I can't believe there's not many people into 3D printing in the world. When I was into it originally, it was like so just niche, and people were like, what? Like, what you do what? Printing like an inkjet printer, right? Like, no, it's plastic. Now everyone knows what it is.
Yeah.
So my name's Angus. I run the YouTube channel Makers Muse. So I specialize in trying to make this technology more accessible. So my aim is to empower creativity through technology. So I do 3D printing reviews to see if these machines are good and worth buying, depending on your needs. I do tutorials and guides, and I show how you can use 3D printing by doing ridiculous stuff like this, because why wouldn't you?
Just the one wheel.
And yeah, I love it. So I'm still doing it.
Little auger. We should do auger wheels. So Ed C says, who is he? Hell, he's the king of Australia. And then Joel Telling's with us. Joel, how you doing?
Oh.
Angus says the Burb King.
The Burb King.
No. Popeye's the king. I am his humble servant who feeds him every day.
I can imagine. Did you ever see Ace Ventura?
Yeah.
Like you go out on your balcony and you just go like this. You're like, oh, and then they all just fly down on you.
Honestly, if you go out usually after a rainstorm, they're for some reason ravenous. But then you go on the balcony and then they'll see you from like a kilometer away and just flock in, and you see just like the descent.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And you'll have like 20, which I don't feed because then they really do eat the house. They literally will destroy everything when they're in a flock that big. But yeah, they do descend from the heavens.
Jim, what do we have here that's like that? Do you have anything up in Wisconsin that's like that?
Oh man, yeah, like swallows, little barn swallows.
Okay,
those things are nasty. For example, I used to mow lawns for a city, and if you got anywhere near them, like they would just start flocking you all over the place and dive bombing.
Man.
And then at my in-laws house, I took my drone up to do some shot. They have like 86 or 89 acres or something, and I was gonna go do a nice like shot of the land for them. I get it up. I have no idea where they came from, but all of a sudden it was so thick that it would look like a cloud, and they were chasing the drone. And I gotta land this thing. They're gonna crash it. I don't have and
I had the same thing happen. Yeah. My first drone is at the bottom of a lake because I'm pretty sure I got attacked by a swallow.
The crazy drone one I have is vultures. Wow. If I can find pictures, I will either post them or I'll see if I can find them during the episode. In Wyoming, took it up into the mountains, same thing. Gonna shoot down onto my friend's like cabin and property. Took it way up. And next thing you know, I have one picture. I think we counted 26 vultures, like full size, huge vultures circling this thing. Like same thing. I was like, I got to land this. I don't need to lose this drone. It was a Phantom 3 Pro and it was expensive at the time.
Well, the good news is all birds are drones. They're all like no birds are real. Birds aren't real.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
No.
So I have.
They're just attacking your drone because it's a consumer drone and it wasn't put out there by the government.
Yeah,
there you go.
Not certified.
Someone says I need to make 3D printing. I need to 3D print Angus's bird puzzles for my cockatoos. There you go.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, they really like out of all of them, they really like the bin one because it combines their love of pulling stuff and just like getting into things destructively. So like that's the one I take out the most often just to give them a challenge.
That's awesome. There's a lot of people chiming in. There you go. Green Bay has indigenous cheeseheads. Stay clear of those animals. Yeah. Definitely during Packer season for sure. But no, what happens if you said like if it rains and you go out, a whole bunch of them flock in, right? What happens if you set up like a whole a bunch of different, like a whole bunch of like not traps, that's a bad word, puzzles for them, and like would they all come in and try to figure it out, or would they just destroy them?
I haven't tried that.
Ooh.
It depends on like it's weird, but they have different personalities. Some of them are just big and dumb, and they just like they're like, give me food, you don't feed me, I'm gonna like eat your face and squawk at you, and I'm somehow gonna like be bigger than you, which that doesn't work. Then you get the more reserved ones that are shy, so they don't really want to approach. You get this like special middle ground, which is like they're reserved, but they're very clever and they understand you're not a threat. So like there's this one we call a Dweena, which I think I stole from Black Books because it's Rowena in Black Books.
Nice.
And
nice.
she is so like, she knows I'm not a threat, so I can come right up to her with something new and she'll play with it. So nice. I reckon if I just left like a whole string of puzzles on the balcony with her, she'd be there a whole day, just going one by one, getting through them and eating the seeds. And they'll do anything for that seed. It's like, they're addicted to it.
It reminds me, it kind of like Mark Rober's like squirrel, the whole thing he sets up in his backyard. I think he's done 2 or 3 of those now. Yeah. The squirrel obstacle courses. Those are amazing.
Squirrel Olympics.
Yeah, Squirrel Olympics. That's right. And I love that he has a story for each one, like gives them names and like background stories, and like that draws you in. And then you see him like spinning around and flipping off something, you know.
I mean, it sounds ridiculous, but if you see them every single day, you kind of get accustomed to them as if they're pets or as if they're just things you know. So yeah, I know.
Do you guys have? I probably asked you this last time. Do you guys have sugar gliders down there?
Yeah, we do. I don't see them very often. You more likely see the big brush-tailed possums, which are like this big.
Sure.
And yeah, but our sugar gliders are different to yours. Ours are like a marsupial.
Yeah,
they're
marsupial.
Yeah, they have little pouches for their babies. They're an Australian thing.
Same thing, I think.
Really? Okay.
I have one. We had two. One of them passed away, but yeah, they're nocturnal. They have they have their babies in their pouches.
Oh, okay, and, like as a pet.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. They're hard to spot, but they're definitely around.
It's so fun to watch them try to like whoosh, too. That would be cool to figure out a way to make like an obstacle course or something for them to play with. Well, yeah. Justin says up to 1,008 tickets. Too bad we can't get you out here for a Murph. That would be awesome.
Yeah.
I may be going to San Fran though in July.
For
open source thing.
Open source, yeah. I saw William post about that recently.
Yeah, he's organizing this massive. It's almost like a reboot of Maker Faire, same vibe, but with like a VidCon twist because he's getting a lot of people from like big channels and various corners of the internet to come and sort of do talks and things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a big undertaking, but it should be cool.
That'd be awesome. Well, keep us posted. We would love to check that out.
Yeah, I'll let everyone know.
I wonder when in July. If it was like in the beginning of July, you could hit Murph and then go to.
So I could literally be over there for a year. There's stuff happening so much now.
Jeez. Yeah, CNC. Stefan's coming to Remurf too. He's a blast. Yep, Joel's doing a Q&A. If anyone out there watched my video yesterday, he commented, "You bring the Q, he has the A." So there you go.
Okay.
So that'll be a lot of fun. So you have a new ebook out recently. You did a video on that.
Yeah. So that book has actually been in the works for like 8 years, I would say. I did my original one back in 2017. But since then, every time I learn something, I'd write it down. And just as you know, the whole sort of YouTube space is weird because you need to keep feeding the YouTube beast, which is like you need to film, record, and then upload. So like, where's the time in that to write a book?
Yeah.
So I did it, and then my lovely partner was like, "Angus, this looks like a high school essay. You need to make it look better." Which only your partner is allowed to say to you.
Yeah.
So I went in and back in uni, I learned InDesign, which is like proper layout software. So I went in and redid it all in that and made it up to scratch. And I'm really happy with it because it's like literally everything I wish I knew when I started. Sure. Like all the little tips and tricks that you can't like really. You can't find easily. Like there's a lot of really good content, but it's like maybe you're looking for that just little snippet of info in between like a 10-minute thing of another tutorial. Whereas it's just like little tiny snippets on each page, and then it seems really consumable. And the feedback's been really good actually. I was really you're always really anxious when you release something that you put so much effort into. But there's been really good feedback, so I'm really happy with that.
Awesome. Well, and it's cool that watching your video, it looks like there's links. I mean, it's an ebook, right?
Yeah.
So it looks like there's links in there, and I mean, it's an awesome resource. Like you said, it's when you first get into it, it's like you're swimming, but you're barely swimming, and you're like watching. And now there's a bajillion videos. So you can just go out there and start watching videos, but even then you're like, how do I load the filament? Like, stuff like that.
It's like you don't know what you don't know. So there's a section about like how you should, if you're heating your hot end, you should push the filament in before you pull it out. Because obviously we've all been there. You just pull it out and you jam it because it stretches and forms a plug. It's just little things like that I wish I knew. And I saw that comment, do people still read? Actually, because it's an interactive PDF, you can literally make it read to you, which I did.
Yes.
And it works really well. So you just have it reading to you. Yeah.
There you go.
It's the read aloud section.
Wait. Is it in your voice though? Because that's the only way.
You can choose any voice. It's not a deep fake. You can't do it in my voice.
Wait, Samuel L. Jackson? Can you get that? You push the mother and filament. No.
Wait.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, there you go.
It's always a delayed beep. It's never on time.
I'm kind of a picture guy. Absolutely. See,
there's a lot of pictures.
There you go. There's a lot of pictures. So my thing is I learn better visually and hands-on myself. Mm-hmm. So like, if you just videos help me because I'm like, oh, that's how he did it. And then it's in front of me and I could do it. And that's, why when I started the channel I have, that's how I started it is Luke Hadfield wrote that whole guide. And I was like, what does this mean? I'm new. I don't know what this is. Yeah. And so I said, hey, if I start filming this stuff, will you help me? It'll help me learn for one. It'll help other people like me learn. And then like you can correct where I'm totally F it up because I was sending him the videos early. Like, did I do this right? Am I following? And he's like, well, you read my words. That's not what I meant. So we would go back together and fix stuff in the beginning. And it totally helps, when you have that, but it's awesome to have that because maybe you're sitting in and you're like, oh, I remember Angus dropped that in his guide. I can pull it up quick. It's right there. You know what I mean?
Well, it's quite searchable. And yeah, again, like I started videos because I just find visual stuff really handy. And I'm also like, I think it's called kinesthetic learning. I just have to do it usually. Yeah. So yeah, I try to do it, find out what works and doesn't, and then show it so other people can not make horribly expensive mistakes and waste their time.
Right. Big Jano says, I watched your E-Steps video, Jim, from way back in the day. When I first started, I remember seeing your broken arm. Yeah, I was a month into, actually a little less than a month into my channel, and I jumped out of my truck at work and it was all like black ice. And my feet didn't stop. So I fell and broke my arm. That's actually before I met Caleb. And so I was stuck at home for 8 weeks. They wouldn't let me drive because I did it at work. So they said, like, theoretically you can drive, but because the doctor says you need 2 arms to drive, you can't go to work. And I'm like, all right, I'll just sit at home. They paid me because it was workman's comp. Nice, and then I did a whole bunch of videos with like a broken arm in a sling because I had nothing better to do. And I was going nuts at home. And I would have my wife like come over and do stuff that she could help me with her hand. And like I'd hold something like and then film it quick. And I got it was ridiculous, but I was able to pump out like a bunch of videos because I was stuck at home, and I think it helped me learn a lot about YouTube, or at least not about YouTube, but about filming.
I think a lot of people start channels with similar catalysts where there's just something's happened where they're just like, look, I've thought about it for ages. I'll just do it because I have no other choice, or it's driving me insane, or I just have to do it. I have to get it off my chest. And then it just begins.
The black eye story.
Dude, I'm talking about parts. Let's just get that out there. She would hold like parts or stuff like that. One of the most notorious ones is I was doing an E-Steps video that he's talking about, and I was measuring the filament that I cut off 100. I had it extrude 100. I cut it, and I was measuring it with a caliper, and I couldn't hold it, measure it, and film it at the same time. So I set it there, slightly bent in the video. It wasn't straight. And I have never stopped the comments ever since. And I was like, whatever. I like, how many times in the comments does it says, dude, he has a broken arm or, whatever. But I actually measured it with her help. I just didn't film it that way.
But people will pick up on the dumbest things and it will just be forever commenting this as if you haven't been told that 100 times already.
Right.
But they don't see it.
Yeah. But
slipping on the black ice was a cover-up story. What really happened was the government came after him because he was flying drones with the birds, the bird drones.
With the birds, yeah.
The birds picked him up and dropped him as an intimidation.
The drones. Sorry, drones.
That would have been a way better story. So, I mean, besides writing books, you did some stuff on music recently. That was pretty sweet.
Because I love your heavy metal as you can see this wall.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's like this has all kind of happened after COVID because I kind of went insane. So I've always done music, but it's usually been virtual instruments. So that's where your computer makes like, or has the oscillators and everything in this like software program. But what I really wanted to get into was like analog synthesis, which is the old school 80s and stuff. It turns out that's expensive. So I would just sit on Gumtree and Facebook Marketplace for ages looking for people who uploaded stuff that wasn't, like, I didn't really quite know what it was, or it was like a lesser known model. Just so happened I got into it just before the COVID price hike where everything got really expensive anyway. But there's something really just almost meditative about like making sounds with physical knobs, I've found. I don't record a ton of music. Like you were saying at the start, that track, like I have made a lot of music since, but very little of it has made it into completed song. So I just sit there and like I'll play a chord and I'll just twiddle a knob and be like, oh, that's nice. And then because it's a physical interface, there's no saving it. Some of these you kind of can, but a lot of them, if you move a knob accidentally, it's done. Like it's not going back where it was, which is also fun because it's very impermanent.
I've got there's an old video control panel that it was the panel that was on the wall of the Death Star when they're about to fire it, and they pull the handle and that noise. Yeah. That was actually an old transitions panel for fades and wipes and stuff. And I really want to get one of those and try to figure out how to put modern technology in it so that the buttons actually kind of work for adding transitions to like live streams and stuff.
That would be cool.
That would be awesome.
Yeah. That would be awesome.
Plus, it's a piece of Star Wars.
Yeah. Why not? Brian, what's up? I mean, that not only music, and we haven't talked to you since, I don't think we had you on, but you did that big Death fan. Like that was ridiculous. That was like last year, I think. And I always said, man, we should have you on and demonstrate and like cut some stuff up on live. Yeah. But how is that still around or not so much?
It was ridiculously dangerous because it had a weapon motor for a combat robot, basically sized brushless motor. And it was running off 6-cell LiPo, which is like 23 volts or something. But the issue is because obviously 3D printing is not super accurate, because the blade was separate fans put into slots, by the time it was all assembled, one of them was kind of rubbing. So what was happening in the video is it was rubbing, then the motor was so powerful, it was just overcoming it. And then as I was doing my final test, the pinion gear literally exploded, which is like all those bits of plastic come out of it. So I've been meaning to make a safer version that I can like release with parts and designs. I did try to make a actual like fan one using a AC motor.
Sure.
But they have like no torque at all. They're very low torque. And because it's all 3D printed, it's actually quite a heavy fan. So I'm sort of thinking I'm going to scale it down a little bit and make it like a slower geared, like just a sort of small sort of geared motor that spins it slowly, not super fast. But yeah, it was a really fun project. And it was fun because when Corsair brought out the joke fan, I literally was like, if you don't sell us, I will make one. And I sort of put myself in like a position where, oh, okay, I have to make one now because they admitted it was a joke.
Well, and then a bunch of us were like, you got to get this on the Fan Showdown then. I mean, that would be awesome. Have you seen that?
Yeah, I have. Yeah. I did make a joke in the video where it blew over the computer that was playing the fan video.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
It actually did blow it over. Like that wasn't like fabricated.
That's awesome. I totally,
But I forgot, this is terrible. I forgot his name, but he runs a computer tech channel and he's really known for his like really like unbiased views and holding manufacturers to account. This is going to... Would it
is it
be
Canadian?
insulting to say he has similar hair to you, Jim? Would you know?
Oh, are you talking about... geez, he does a lot of the like on-site stuff, and he does interviews.
Yes, he went to like factory tours before.
Nexus, not Nexus. Gamers Nexus.
Yeah. There you go. 100%. There we go. We got there.
Yeah, I had to get there. You said the hair, and I was like,
I was like, it's like he looks like a cool guy.
There you go.
Yeah. He took the Corsair fan in and did a teardown, which I got to see how they made it. It was made really well by like a prop maker. but it wasn't very powerful. And when I did that video, he was like, "Hey, do you want us to test it on our like industrial quality testing rigs?" And I'm like, "I'd like to, but it's like really dangerous and uses a really high power lipo, and I don't know how to get it there." So that never happened because I just couldn't figure out how to get it there. But it would be really cool to actually know how much flow it has, because it was quite substantial.
Do you ever watch a channel called Flight Test by chance?
Yeah, I'm familiar with them.
Yeah,
isn't that the channel that's currently working on the land speeder?
Yeah, and that's the first thing I thought of. Like they're putting giant props and like foam encasing and spinning these things.
Basically, it's a hovercraft.
It's basically a hovercraft.
Like the pad on the bottom or whatever, but they're actually putting jet engines in these. Like, it's pretty awesome.
It's pretty.
Are they
awesome.
gonna ride on it? Is that size?
Yeah.
Oh wow, that terrifies me.
Yeah, they have three fans underneath to lift, to give it the lift, and then they have thrust fan. It looks like a land speeder. It has thrust ones like sitting right here, and they're big, huge, blades, and to shoot the thrust in. It looks really cool, and they're like, they're not worried about. I don't think they're worried about it at all. I think they trust it.
Oh, they are, because they even said in the video. They even said in the video, if you think about the land speeder design, where it's this flat, like popsicle shape with the jets on the back, but those jets are pushing forward. So if something breaks, those jets are going right into the back of their skulls.
Yeah.
I thought they were on the side. I'm gonna look. I'm gonna not.
There's the one on the top, though. There's the third one on the top.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the third one.
That one's just waiting.
They could just make that one cosmetic, right?
No, that's half the fun.
Has to be real.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I remember Colin first did his hover bike, and I couldn't really even watch the video. It was so just. I was like, he's gonna die.
I definitely started looking for hovercrafts in my area recently, and my wife's like, "Absolutely not. We're not buying that." Like she shut it down. You were
like,
"No
single hovercrafts in your area."
I was just like, "Ooh, let's check out these hovercrafts."
That one's got a nice fan on it.
Oh, I'd tell you a case towards getting a hovercraft though is I know someone who got one in a junkyard and fixed it up, and his wife was like, "Why?" And then we had major flooding, and the rescue response team had to borrow it to rescue people. So there you go.
Genius. Yeah.
That could be a land speeder.
Could be a land speeder. Yeah. It could be. Oh, so good. Well, what else is new? Anything that you're working on that you can actually talk about? I mean, I guess let's start with that question. I have another one that's kind of controversial.
Okay.
We'll go to next.
Side project.
I've been trying to knock out some reviews because I almost didn't do any last year because, as we all know, the whole race to the bottom with Ender i3 style clones just got so monotonous and so pointless. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so I didn't do reviews for ages. So I've been working on reviews of, like, obviously the Bamboo Labs. I waited till they shipped. Was very happy with that. And I'm testing the AnchorMake M5 as well because I waited for them to ship. Have you seen that machine in person, the M5?
I have not seen it in person. They offered me one, and recently, actually, like maybe 2 months ago, and they said it's shipping. Like, do you want to test one out? And then I was just like, I talked to Uncle Jesse, and I talked to some other people I knew who had them, and I was just like, nah, I'm good. I mean, I that's my thought on it. How do you feel? I mean, so far.
So I just find it interesting because these are like Bamboo and AnchorMake. They're like two very large companies who are coming from a tech background into 3D printing for the first time.
Also back to one of the largest, same people. Did you know that?
Yeah, it's crazy. But the manufacturing processes they've used to make these machines is like nothing we've seen. So with the AnchorMake M5, when I saw it on, I think LTT did a look at the pre-production unit.
Yeah.
The base was billet aluminium that they'd CNC cut. And they were saying it was going to be die cast aluminium for the final release unit. I'm like, surely not. They'll make it out of plastic or something. No, it is a piece of metal like that large from a die mold. The whole base.
The whole base?
The whole base is metal that's been molded. Which is like, okay, well, that's how it's so rigid then. Because they're pushing this i3 frame stupid speeds. And I was like, how are they doing that? So that's like no other manufacturer we've worked with the last 10 years had done stuff like that. They've gotten big injection molds, sure, but they're kind of aesthetic. They're nothing.
Yeah.
Haven't really seen anything done functionally on.
That's expensive to do. I mean, let's face it.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Like it's really putting their money where their mouth is, because they have this technology and they have access to it. And just little things like little injection molded clips and little like tweaks to the circuit boards and wire routing, stuff that like, okay, these engineers know what they're doing. They've done a lot of electronic consumer products before, and now they're making printers.
Right.
And I really hope that, you know, these new machines kind of stay getting better and more accessible and cheaper, so we can see more people get into it. But at the same time, I'm also coming across a little niggly issues with like the cloud dependency and their slices and the closed nature of them when stuff does go wrong.
Right.
So it's still not perfect, but I've started looking back at machines to review now, because I just really want to get a grip on this new direction everything's going. We're seeing some wild stuff.
What's interesting is Zombie Hedgehog says metal base and they put V wheels on it. I mean,
they did.
I mean, for good or bad, however you feel about that. I mean, it's interesting because they'll do so much, like, you know, like you said, injection molded clips, and then if you're a V wheel hater, like that's all of a sudden it kills it for you because they dropped V wheels on, you know.
Yeah.
But what's interesting is if I guess this is my take. I'm curious to see what yours is. All of us are here in this space, the people watching, you, me, Caleb, everybody out there, our channels, because we want to see 3D printing go further and farther with more people and younger people. And essentially, I want to see like a printer in every house. You want something, you print to it. And not gonna lie, the Bamboo Lab is the closest I've ever seen to that personally. But can you have it super open source and have that at the same time?
Well,
you know what I'm trying to say, for like the most basic user, like start to finish, never did this before, like a microwave. Can it be crazy open source and modifiable and have that, you know, reliability and stuff?
Yeah, it's an interesting question, because you see it in slices. They try to make it, okay, this is beginner mode, and like there's 3 settings, and then you go, okay, I'll go to advanced mode, and then suddenly there's hundreds of settings. Right. You could do stuff like that with a machine that is still open source, but I don't know if this is cynical or not. A lot of machines get broken by people trying to do upgrades that they don't know how to do.
True. That's true.
Because I have done it myself.
I've included,
I've been like, oh, I'm going to change my nozzle to a 0.6. And like, I literally ripped it off the hot end because I didn't know you had to heat them. That was like 10 years ago, but still, I've done it. And then suddenly you've got a $60 part you need to replace.
And if you do know you have to heat them, you don't know you have to hold the hot block with the pliers when you turn the wrench to take the nozzle off and you spin it off anyway, you know?
A good like 70% of my job at See Me CNC back in the day was repairing printers. And by repairing, I mean I took whatever they installed on it and put our factory stuff back on it, and then it worked again.
100%. And by locking something down, you prevent that. So it does have its benefits, but at the same time, it's not open. So you almost want like a root. Not what's it called when you get your phone and you like? Is it like you get
like to root it?
You root it. Like you almost want that, so you can like, okay, it's this. But if you really are determined, you know what you're doing, you can unlock it to then do things, I suppose.
I get you. Yeah, and the cool thing about we could talk about Bamboo Lab. You did an awesome video recently. The P1P, I believe, was your most recent, right?
I did a comparison between both, because people kept asking me, which one do I get?
I mean, to be fair, they have a ton of replacement parts, and the prices on those replacement parts is so good. Like $14.99 for a full nozzle. I mean, not the complete one. That's $35, $34.99 US, right? But $35.99 for a complete nozzle.
Yeah,
$2
$35 for a plug and play situation.
Well, I mean, so if it was very easy like that, And now we're starting to see a whole bunch of people not ripping their stuff off, but making aftermarket pieces, right?
I've seen that.
I think the next layer guy, he did a video recently testing a whole bunch of that. And I mean, we're always going to see that, but it's cool that they're here, they're ready, they have places in different countries where they ship from, all that stuff. At the same time, like you said, it's not open, so I couldn't just take it and do whatever I want with it because it wouldn't work.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's interesting. Like, you don't know how much you depend on that whole cloud ecosystem till it breaks.
Yeah.
So, like, I was just slicing for the P1P last night, and for some reason, it was just taking forever to send through their cloud system. Like, it was taking half an hour when usually it takes a minute.
Wow.
And I don't know exactly if it was on my end, my connectivity. I don't know if it was on their end, because it's often.
Did you do the new firmware update?
I did, and I kind of think that's broken something.
I'm wondering if that's because I think they addressed that yesterday. I think they addressed some issues with the new firmware update.
Right. I did the firmware update, and now the bed doesn't like its level, and it takes ages to send stuff.
Oh geez. So
I might have to reset it.
So this is a great thing though. Yeah. They have been crazy fast to take ownership, which is huge in our world because no one does that, and then fix stuff just by listening to us, right?
Yeah. Well, I did notice in the new update, it has a filament load and unload routine, which is something a lot of us said in the reviews. We're like, it's ridiculous. It doesn't have these routines. It should have them built in, and they did it. So after years of saying to like Creality and that, oh, change this and you'll have a great printer. And they're like, that's nice. Thanks for the review. And then they'll just bring out another 3D printer.
I was just going to say, they're like, thanks. Can you do another review? We have 5 more coming this month.
Yeah.
That are the same thing with different letters.
I do have a script written for a video. Literally, I think the title's going to be why I still use a Creality Ender 3 and why you shouldn't buy one.
I'll watch it.
Yeah. They're a good baseline machine to test your models on if you want to provide models online. So, compatibility, if it prints an Ender 3 or print everything. But how could you recommend that machine in 2023?
Yeah,
it just makes zero sense.
It's so hard. I mean, out here, you could get a Micro Center.
They still sell the original Ender 3.
Yeah.
The original one.
You could go to Micro Center for $99 and grab one if you're a new Micro Center member, And I'm like, for $99, I'm gonna have to say not a bad printer to start with for $99.
Yeah. Then there's a reason I take on their sponsorships. Like they are legit with their deals, and for that price, absolutely. But then you look at the regular pricing and you compare it to the Soval SV06 that we checked out recently.
Mm-hmm.
It's really hard to make that comparison.
And that, I mean, I don't know how you feel. I mean, I watched your video, but I mean, for me, right now, currently, best beginner 3D printer that you can get, Soval SV06. I mean, with everything that it comes with and the limited issues that it's had so far, because it's had some issues so far. But, I mean, when Ender 3 came out, we never thought for $239 you're going to have something with everything auto leveling, everything you wanted, because the Ender 3 was $239, right?
Yeah, but it's a new benchmark every time. I think the SV06, it's almost everything you want. The only reservations I have is the extruder not having the filament run out for whatever reason. I don't know why they left it out. And the extruder is very difficult to service. I found if you have to get in there,
if you got to get the planetary gears
everywhere.
Yeah. So
like a watch.
So I wanted to address Mitch as well. So give me a second, Mitch. But just a heads up, the Ender 3. No, geez, I said Ender 3. The Soval SV06 Plus, it's sitting right here. Has the filament holder with bearings in it now, and it has the filament runout sensor, which is in its current state doesn't do a lot, but it's there. It stops the printer when the filament runs out, right? I think they're going to do a firmware to fix it. But anyways, you can add that plug and play to the SV06.
Yeah, there's a plug for it.
Yeah.
That's
So
what I mean.
if you want to go backwards, if you want to order the new spool holder with the run out, you can, and there you go. That now you have the run out. But the other thing I wish they did, and it's been addressed in a couple videos recently, is that I wish they would use the dual motors, stepper motors, for one for each side, to truly cram it up into the top, right?
Yeah.
Right now it's linked, so it's using one stepper motor, or I'm sorry, what did I say? Not one stepper motor, but you know what I'm saying. It's linked on the board.
Isn't that just what the Prusa does as well, though? It just jams to the top and then goes. It's the same same process.
I don't want everyone in the chat to yell at me, but it's pretty much a.
I'm censoring him.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
you saw my title, right?
Yeah. I did, and you and everybody else are right. Prusa's great company, and they're great products. But that's all I'm gonna say.
You can be upfront. Like, the market keeps moving. Nothing stays the same in any field.
I don't even know. I was gonna grab it. The SV06 Plus build size. People have been dreaming of that in a Prusa for years. I mean, dreaming of that. They want it, and so
the market was screaming for it. Someone will make a product that fits that requirement.
Someone says RIP, pitchforks and torches. Yeah, pretty much. It's about right. But I mean, like, I'm not bashing anybody, but like you said, the market moves, and companies move with it. Just like we all want to see less Ender 3 style printers and more Bamboo Lab, Anchor Make, whatever. I mean, I guess Anchor Make is same thing as an Ender 3 style. It's just built different, right?
But that's the thing. Like, I don't hold any loyalty to any brands. Like, a company could come out of nowhere and have a fantastic printer, and I will sing praises about it. But a company can also be really established and then come up with a machine that is garbage, and then, like, the CraftBot flow that I reviewed just was like so beautiful, and it had so many issues, and I just had to be really upfront about it. Whereas I loved their old versions of their printers. And I, like, if someone comes along with something really good, then they deserve the praise. But if they can't, you can't just do something once and then ride on it forever. Because that's just not how this industry works.
Oh my God, the CraftBot. Joel
said. Joel was so burnt by that too. It was awful. It's such a beautiful machine.
You can kind of see the reflection. That's the Snapmaker J1.
You still have that sitting there?
It's never probably going to move until I give it away. But the thing came packaged like an Apple product. Most gorgeous package I've ever seen on any printer ever.
So most of it went.
It was great, and it's not a terrible printer. It was like a year and a half delayed since from when they announced it, and I think it just was it was too late. And it's an IDEX that I've had really good success, and I've had really bad success with layer shifts and stuff, and I have no idea why. And I'm sure it's probably had 2 or 3 firmware upgrades since I played with it last. But it came packaged amazing, and it's just sitting there because I have other stuff that maybe runs better,
and that's it. Time is money. Like, if it's not working, it's just pushed aside.
Joel says the CraftBot Flow had one of the best first run experiences once it was set up. Excellent in layer shifting.
But I know, like, the previous one, I gave it away, and I know that the guy uses it every day to print prototype models. So it's just it's wild. Like, I don't understand how these companies operate sometimes. I don't know if they do any testing, and then they expect something. Like, it's like releasing really buggy software and expecting you can just update it with, like, software updates when the hardware itself is just not good.
Mitch says layer shifting is a feature, not a bug. If you're going for that art style, that's awesome. Schools are buying MakerBots today for $4,000 with 2014 features because of price. What? That is.
The whole education space is really. again, I'm going to be a bit loose here. It's full of a lot of yahoos who will sell these packages to schools because schools have to use purchase orders, and it's very difficult for them to get the money up front. So it's very complicated. So they've perfected that process to then sell them very expensive machines and kits that the schools really don't benefit from.
Right.
So you often see schools with like heaps of Ultimakers or heaps of MakerBots, and like they're broken or they don't know how to use them, or whatever. So now I just literally say get the Boundary Labs X1C. I'm just like,
I mean, seriously, and not only that, but your kids' keychain that they just designed in class will be printed, but by the time they're done, along with the 25 other ones that are with it.
Well, we don't need that because everybody knows that children are the most patient people in the world. So what?
I give actually a lot of stuff to whoever, teachers in schools, and teachers that print stuff for their kids at schools. There's a lot of, like, in my area, they'll have classes where they design stuff in class and then they'll print them for them at home or in a classroom. And I'm like, here, have another printer, have another couple. Like,
but they're so time poor. Like, teachers are just absolutely overworked.
Yeah,
they don't have time to fix the printer or maintain it anyway. It just has to work, and they just need something that's reliable. Like, it doesn't have to print well. Like, the quality doesn't have to be amazing. It just has to work every time.
Right. And Geek Toy Box says this is exactly why Prusa bought printed solid to get into schools. I hope so. I mean, I hope so. I mean, because it's way better than what a lot of them are using right now. What time we got? Holy moly, we got some HotMakes to do.
Jesus. Angus, you want to hang out and check out HotMakes with us?
Hell yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Right, let's do it.
Let's do it. All right, so I was getting ready for HotMakes and I pulled this up and I've been staring at it on my side screen for the last like 15 minutes and I'm excited about this.
This one?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's like we're continuing the series.
Yeah, I was actually sitting here thinking, what are you going to pull up and show us? Like that while you were leading into that.
No.
Nice. Yeah, this actually was tagged, and this is a very good teaching moment. Everybody out there. So Jerry tagged this a couple weeks ago, but he tagged it at HotMakes Live, not hashtag HotMakes. Okay, so
we'll see both of them, but
to come to, like, it automatically comes to the spreadsheet if you tag hashtag HotMakes. And so he reached out to me and he said, hey, I didn't see it last week. And I was like, I'm not sure what you mean. And he's like, oh wait, I put at, not hashtag. So he fixed it down here. And I just wanted to point that out. Hashtag HotMakes. Anything cool you see, it doesn't have to be 3D printing. It can be anything that out there that's awesome, as Llama usually does. Yeah, hashtag HotMakes. All right. This is cozies for your frosty bed. Cozies or koozies? What is it?
They're koozies, dude.
What do you call them out there?
Yeah, koozie usually. Yeah,
koozie. Okay, for your frosty beverage, printed on the X1 carbon. Speaking of, with AMS, so Lightspeed actually made these. He's been doing some cool stuff like this.
Heaps of stuff like this. Yeah.
Yeah, it's.
I just love that it looks like a cartoon. Like it feels like real life. Like Who Framed Roger Rabbit. Like
it does. It really does.
It does.
That's a good idea.
And I got to say, Jerry, nice color schemes on these too, because I think they went perfect, like potion and poison.
Yeah.
And the triple X, I'm gonna give some of that to my wife when I get home. It's a good drink. I heard it was a good drink. That's what I meant.
Oh, Lord.
That was. I don't know. I'm gonna get mixed reviews on that one. Nice work, Gary. All right. Moving on.
Oh, this is cool.
Heyo. Thanks, Fix Them, dude. Wooden mask model Withstand by Wexter, who released this, I think, last week. I think it was last week or the week before. Printed on the MK3S. What was that?
Just an original design.
Yeah, he really Wexter put this out a week or two ago, so it's his design.
Oh, wow.
Cool. And it has a little stand, so to hold it up there. Super cool.
Honestly, this is one of those situations where the layer lines actually like add to it. I love that detail.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm with you on that, Caleb. I I think there's some things, there you go, that just help it look like wood, right?
Yeah. I did something. Speaking of layer lines that look like wood, hang on.
Please. Oh God, he stood up.
I did that with I printed a Captain Mal.
Battle Cry says, wait, what?
I printed a Captain Mal pistol, and I printed the handle in 2 separate pieces.
Oh, hang on. Let's there you go.
With the orientation being this way and this way.
Nice.
So the layers kind of added like a wood grain look.
Yeah, that looks sick.
But it's physical. It feels like wood grain, but it's just the printed layers. So yeah, similar concept.
So that was Mal's gun. I love it. Firefly reference.
From Firefly. Yeah.
Yep.
Nice.
I wish I could find. I don't know if I have video of it, but Nathan Fillion. I probably told the story before. Nathan Fillion. I dressed like him while. Actually, I was in a wheelchair. Different incident. But I went to a Comic-Con in Chicago, and we got a picture with him. No, it was Comic-Con in Chicago. We did pictures, and I didn't want to be in my wife's picture because I didn't want to ruin. I was in a freaking wheelchair. I didn't want to ruin it. And he's like, "No, I'll just take one with you. Don't worry." He when we're done taking a picture, I had the gun. We're kind of pointing at him. He's like, "You want to have some fun?" I was like, "Of course." And Nathan Fillion is exactly who you think he is. Like everything you've ever seen him in, that's him. Period. So he goes, okay. So we go out around the side of the curtains they have, where you take pictures from. He's on the very last one. All the printers for pictures are there, and it's like a big open space that you walk around. He pushes me out in front of everybody, like the hundreds and hundreds of people in line, and says, "There's only room for one captain in here," and just pushes my wheelchair and lets me go.
That's fantastic.
It was amazing. It was the best thing ever, and everybody's laughing and stuff like that. And he's pretty awesome. It was hilarious. And then we went back and saw him, and he signed the picture for us, and he was laughing. He was like, "Was that fun?" I was like, "Heck yeah, man! Thanks." It was a blast. Anyways, moving on. Joe Mike, I do want to talk about this. He says this is qualify as a HotMakes. This was I think it's Turan 1. Correct me in the chat if I'm saying that wrong.
I saw people posting this, but I didn't look up anything about it. So
let me just do this real quick. Maybe if I can.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you put okay.
So this is a wired. More people tagged this. It's an 85% 3D printed rocket that blasted off from Cape Canaveral.
Okay.
What?
I went into depth. Let's see if I kill that one and I bring this one over. This is the actual place here that does a rocket.
Okay, hang on. Is this one of those technicality things? Like, is it the actual propulsion rockets itself that's printed, but the actual fuselage part is all real metal?
I think.
Is it the whole rocket, or is it just the?
I saw a long time ago they were doing it was like a welding sort of vase mode thing for rockets. I don't know if that's this.
I'm guessing that's what this is. I think this is the culmination of that.
Oh, they're supposed to launch in 2 days. They missed their launch window. What? It was cloud. Dang it. Anyways, someone said they missed the launch window. I wonder if that actually happened. The motors and tanks, I know are printed.
The tanks are printed. That makes sense.
And the motors. So if you come down here, they're the first.
Well, and the
3D
nozzle
printed
in that
rockets.
picture at the top, the nozzle looks like it is too.
Yeah, well, it says it's 85% 3D printed.
It's a car. Let's just do an Elon Musk and
send
a car
right,
send a car up. So here you go.
Looks like a little Fiat.
Let's see. The Aeon 1, Aeon R, and Aeon Vac are 3D printed engines. So it reduces parts in combustion chambers, igniters, turbo pumps, reactor control thrusters, all that stuff. It reduces the parts, it says. Whoa, by the way. But well, I mean, we need to dig farther into this, but they did a whole ton and tons of testing. I think they did, I think it says in here how many hours or how many tests they've done. It's actually crazy.
I appreciate there's a link here for it says download payload users guide.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what we need.
Because we're looking to use the rockets.
Yeah. It's just super cool. I think that it's awesome that, you know, this is becoming more mainstream, and heck, if they can 3D print it, why not? Right.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense for that sort of thing. If you're doing a large cylindrical object, you can, but like almost fast mode, print the big components of it.
Right.
Yeah.
And the engines, I mean, like,
yeah.
awesome.
I wonder if they're like a powder process, or I don't know.
We need to dive into it deeper.
Yeah,
I think we'll have to.
Must learn more.
Printer PR on. I'm not sure if that's how you say it. Now, 30 days from design to printed test engine. Wow,
that's cool.
That's awesome. All right, moving on. Let's see,
James, where that goes.
Yeah,
aside from up.
Hopefully up. not sideways.
Yeah, hopefully not. Well, I mean, hopefully it comes down sometime, right? There's a video of it being made. I'm gonna have to look that up. Thank you, Battlecry.
Cool.
I built a robot centipede with flexible unified drivetrain. There's a full video.
James is just mad.
Yeah.
just the ideas he makes and actually creates are just next level.
If it wasn't for okay, so here's my problem with this. Why does every segment have its own set of googly eyes?
Yeah, I love this. Oh yeah, it does, doesn't it?
Oh no.
That makes it feel very Human Centipede to me. I'm not gonna lie. That makes me feel uncomfortable with it.
I was gonna comment that the front of it, looking at me right now, looks like a puppy, you know, with like the big floppy red ears, but then I didn't even notice the googly eyes everywhere.
I can't unsee it.
Yeah.
Hang on.
Did you have a video of it driving?
Let's see, I'm gonna mute.
Oh yeah, he would. Yeah.
Oh,
that's cool. Get that.
Well, that's flipping awesome.
He's always
by the way.
Something.
All right, let's just go over here where we can watch it walk and creep everybody out.
Oh, nice.
Does it like?
Yes.
Okay.
So good.
It feels like a
drivetrain through the whole thing. It's like flexible and rotating.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's so good.
This feels like what is that movie that came out a while ago? Mortal Engine? Mortal Engine?
Yes, it is a bit like that. As terrible as that movie was, I actually really enjoy it just for the cinematics of it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's one of those you're sitting down for the entertainment value, not for the story being rock solid. And
Mitch says that's a crazy complex mechanism. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's
all right,
cool.
next.
I think James has done toys before, but I hope he still does toy design because that's just like that would make a kid so happy. Centipede.
Oh, putting it in the context of toys, it reminds me of like the robotics that I had when I was a kid, and like the raptor, the weird robot raptor thing. I would totally have loved that when I was a kid.
Right?
Just when I was a kid, not as an adult.
I still want it.
It's not sitting right here. And
yeah, no. I have 12.
No, Noob, 3D Maker Noob Joe has done a printer he affectionately calls Skittles, and
I love that. I love that hot end.
Yeah,
it's very pretty.
His whole printer is phenomenal. If you haven't seen the videos, go check it out on 3D Maker Noob's channel. But this is
I just saw this posted on Reddit.
This
today.
is mesmerizing, by the way.
Oh wow.
Here, let me nice. Just here you go.
This thing so is awesome.
Good. That's such a good time lapse too. He's really nailed it.
Does he show it working? Oh no. Yeah, this is just the print time lapse. Hang on.
Mm-hmm.
We got to find the video of. Yeah. Okay. So go to his page and scroll down just a little bit when you're done.
I love this. He has this nailed down, by the way. All right, what
you got to see what this thing does when it's done, though. It's insane.
First of all, look, this thing is gorgeous. Fantastic.
It looks like a claw machine.
Yeah, absolutely. I love the colors. It reminds me of a retro, like you said, like a claw machine or something.
And he's like a Fisher Price logo on the side.
All right, what are we looking for? This one?
That, yeah. Just wait.
Wow.
Shut the front door.
Yeah. That's so cool. It feels like it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm watching a digital render.
those tricolor filaments, I've got a roll, and it's just mind blowing. It's so fun to play with.
I need this model. But you know what makes this model? The tricolor filament. I mean, if you did it with like straight white, it'd be like, eh.
Well, I mean, it would still look like, because it kind of looks like an infinite thing, like like it's going through a portal, basically.
Like a portal, yeah.
It does. It looks like it's moving up and down, but not.
But the color change there.
The color is what adds the extra layer of like, it doesn't feel like I'm looking at something real.
Yeah.
That's sick. Nice work, Joe.
That's awesome.
Nice.
All right. Cause after not printing for over a year, I bought this awesome tool. If I dare say, it's a HotMakes from Filament Friday. Chuck, shout out Chuck. This is Chuck. How do I say? I was going to say Hellebucks there for a second. It is. Yeah, I was putting it together in my head, and I thought I was going to fumble it. Chuck Hellebucks. This is his leveling sensor, and this thing's pretty dang awesome to play with. I know Brian Vines. I'm pretty sure Brian Vines did a video on this too. It's a cool little sensor, and glad it's working for you. Cause
what does it do?
It comes down.
It has a little contact button to help you figure out the level. He's got a really good G-code routine as well to just print the squares to see how level it is.
Yeah, that's cool.
This, and so everybody says it's inevitable. You tell them to bring the nozzle down so you can just feel the paper scrap, but until you feel the paper and know what it's supposed to feel like, how do you know? So this helps you eliminate that, right? You bring it to certain parts of the bed, you go down till the light comes on, and then it helps you level your bed.
That's cool.
So, yeah, it's a really cool concept.
Like it.
It's the biggest learning curve for any newbie. Is like, I've seen so many people being like, my Ender 3 doesn't work. I'm like, that's because your first layer's not right. It's the hardest thing to get right for a newbie, in my opinion.
It's 100%. I mean, watch every bed leveling you can if you've never done this before. Every video, every single one out there, and then do it 100 times.
Yeah.
All right, last one. Local maker Michigan needed a way to hang a roll of paper towel from the back of a filament rack. Any day I can add a wood wood hooker.
The word,
a wood hooker to something is
you took the joke and made it worse.
Anytime I can make I don't think I read that the first time I saw this. That's what stopped me. Anytime I can add a wood hooker to something, it's a good day. I love that. Oh, word. That's why. Okay. I can't read.
What's the text say on it? Oh, it does say paper towel
holder. Paper towel hooker. Yeah. It's definitely a word hooker. I can't even say that. I can't say it. Anyways, Repcord commented and he tagged us. I love it. It's things like this, that is awesome for 3D printing. And we see it in our community all the time where you'll be on a show and you'll mention something. And by the time we're done, someone's like, hey, I got a model. Check this out.
Everything's iterative. Everyone hears, they're like, oh, that, and then they'll just put it together with shower thoughts, and then just make something. The cycle continues.
Yes. Defrizzle, I think, or frizzle. I'm not sure. It might be French. Anyways, print the hooker. I love it. I can't say toilet either. You're right.
Can't say what?
Oh, not the oil in the cellular tower again.
Oh, toilet.
Anyways, these guys, they know I say my wife keeps a book or like a notepad at home of all the funny stuff I say.
Apparently, this man has never. Yeah. Apparently, until last week, he didn't know how to pronounce peony.
Peony?
Like the flower?
What did I say? Peony?
Yeah,
I think I said peony.
I never even said peony.
Peony.
I don't know.
I never even heard that word before, so I just I'm gonna say it. I went into it confident, and I was definitely struck down.
It's a confusing language. It doesn't help that we all have our different dialects. Like, I'll be talking about patents, and everyone's like, "It's patents." I'm like, "Oh yeah, patents."
Liz says, "How do you say it? Peony?
Peony.
I can't even say it now because you said it, so I'm thinking peony.
Okay.
Anyways, it was part of her birthday print. Brilliant. My favorite flower. How dare you, Jim? Uh-oh, I'm in trouble. Anyways, well, I know we're running late. I don't want to keep you too long, but thank you, man. We really appreciate it. Before we go, though, who are you? What do you do? And where can we find you? That's the big one. Where can we find you?
Yeah, so my name's Angus. I run the Makers Muse YouTube channel, and my aim is to empower creativity through technology. So I do that through 3D printing reviews, tutorials, tips and tricks, and ridiculous projects like that one.
Yes.
Which
Auger
didn't
wheels.
quite finish. But yeah, we're going to see if we can make auger-style Menomonee wheels and see if they work on sand. I don't know.
You could use it as a blender at just at part-time.
Will it blend?
Will it blend? Maybe.
I love it.
We need to make a drag racer with those wheels.
Yes. For the
It's not
sand.
gonna go very far. It just go, on sand. On sand it's a different story.
That would be cool. We definitely appreciate you coming on, like I said, and watching all your cool stuff. Every time you put out a video, I think I speak for most of us, Matt. We're just like, what's he doing this time?
Yeah.
Hopefully you know more than what I'm doing, because I have no idea half the
time. well, again, thank you so much, and hopefully we have you on a little sooner next time. I know it's been a while. I know everybody's kind of been busy, and you guys are dealing with fires and floods and Did I mention that?
The usual.
Yeah.
So hey, as long as it doesn't get didn't it flood like your basement a couple like last year, the year before?
We're still dealing with humidity problems. The door actually rotted off the hinge downstairs. That's how humid it is. So we're still kind of figuring that out.
Wow.
And shout out, by the way, go check out his new ebook.
Yeah.
I believe we linked all of his stuff in the description. Go check it out. Pick up a copy. Fotis says, thanks for the stream. You are awesome. Sand racers at surf. Maybe.
Can we just do a quick shout out to Fotis? Fotis's latest model, the Techno Fox.
Oh yeah,
that's what it was called. That's my new favorite benchmark model, because it's like the Gay Anderson cat with tons more detail. It's a really nice model. So go buy it from him.
Go check it out. Get it from Fotis. Cool. Do it now.
Yeah.
Fotis, I saw him at Earth last year. I was like, give me a hug, and he's like, who the hell are you? What was that?
Have we had Fotis on the show yet?
I don't know.
I don't think we have.
Fotis, let's do this. I'd have to go back. We're 140 episodes. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's all a blur
it's
now.
So bad. I'm sorry. It's so bad. I appreciate that, Angus. Nice.
Yeah.
So check it out. Everybody else, hey, we got to get out of here. I know we're running late. Angus, hang out right there. We'll be right back with you. But thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We will see you next week. We have, let me just do this real quick. We have Willow Creative. She's going to be with us next week.
I'm so excited.
Flipping amazing. If you haven't seen her stuff. Uncle Jesse on the 27th, and Sean from 3D Print General is going to come up on April 3rd. All three awesome guests, so come check them out. It'll be Sean's first time on, and Willow has some really cool stuff she's working on. I can't wait to see that next week. So
when is she not?
We're going to catch that one.
I know, right? Yeah. Every time she does something, we're like, oh, come on.
Yeah, it's insane.
But awesome. Everybody have a great weekend, or great week. Yeah, and weekend. We'll see you guys later.
All right,
later.
Bye.